Let's talk about using Zoom, starting a meeting, and recording a meeting. I'm going to go ahead and sign in into my Zoom account. Enter my credentials. And then here I can click on Host a Meeting with Video. This will launch a meeting immediately. I'll go ahead and click on Open Zoom. All right, so this is going to pop up. This is going to pop up. And this is going to pop up. So this is the main Zoom window. We actually don't need this one at all. So we can actually just minimize that. This one is where we tell it how we want to connect to the audio. Do we want to make a phone call or do we want to use our computer hardware? So usually I'm going to click on Join using computer audio. Perfect. Down here in the bottom right, you got the mute button, right? You can press that to mute yourself and then no audio will come through. You can click on the caret or the little drop-down menu or pop-up menu, and you can choose which microphone you would like to use to record and which speaker you would like to use. If you're having issues figuring out which one's which, you're going to click on Test Speaker and Microphone and go through the testing process. Now, it's very important that you choose the right microphone and the right speaker or headset you want to use. I'm using a Mac, so I can actually use my Apple AirPods. So at this point, if I wanted to use that, I would just pick my AirPods here as my speaker, and I would also pick it as my microphone. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how we pick a speaker and a microphone. Now, when it comes to webcam, if I click on Stop Video, that will completely stop the video. If I click it again, it'll turn it on. If I click on the pop-up window or drop-down window, I can choose which webcam I'd like to use. So if I wanted to use, like I'm using the Logitech C922 now, if I wanted to switch it to my capture card, which connects to my digital SLR, that's this over here. And then I can switch it over to my built-in one that's built in on my computer, which is the one right over here. So you can choose which webcam you want to use. Now, you can also do virtual background. Not a huge fan of it, but you can do it. You can click right there where it says choose virtual background. And you can pick whatever you want. Okay, it's not perfect science. Let me take off my hat, see if it works a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, it's not perfect. That's why I'm not such a huge fan of the virtual backgrounds, but you have that. If you have a green screen, that works a little bit better. Here where it says mirror my video, you can click that and you can basically flip it. If you want to, if you have any writing on your shirt, if you show anything with words, you might want to flip it because the default way is kind of inverse. So we'll close out of that. The other option that we see here is video settings. Let's click on video settings. And I have a couple of options here. I can do original ratio instead of widescreen. So those are the two options. Doesn't seem to be working with my webcam. I can disable HD and the quality, see, it's not as good. If I do enable HD, it's a little bit better quality. I can also have the mirror option. There it is. And there's touch-up appearance. So that just basically smooths out the images a little bit. So we go ahead and close that. Now let me go ahead and invite someone to join me. So I'm going to click on invite. And I'm going to invite myself. Okay. Now let me turn off this virtual background thing here. All right. So I have a laptop in the back here that I'm going to use to connect. Okay. So I went ahead and I joined with my other laptop. So I'm going to go ahead and admit the user here into the meeting. Perfect. So now we should have my computer here and the laptop over there. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the webcam over there as well. Okay, looks like we're all set in there. Let me do one more thing. Here where it says gallery view. If I click on gallery view, I can see both views. So if you have a meeting with someone else here and you want to see both of the faces, you can do that. If you click on speaker view, then it'll be whoever's speaking. So right now there's only two people, so it's going to show regardless my screen here in the top and the person I'm speaking to in the bottom. But if I had a third person connected, then the that view will only show the active speaker. So, and then we have the gallery view that shows both. Okay, so I muted the other computer to avoid some feedback. So let's now talk about chatting. So right here in the chat box, I can click on hello, and then on the other side, I reply back, and then you get to see the message there. So that's how that works. As the host, I can actually manually stop video for someone if I need to, or I can mute them and unmute them. I can also allow them to record if I want them to be able to record on that side too. Under screen share, I can simply just click on screen share and then pick which of my screens. I happen to have two screens. I want to screen share, so I can click on desktop here and click on share. And then essentially I am now sharing my screen. When I'm sharing my screen, let me move this over to this side. When I'm sharing my screen, you actually won't see that other window that pops up. So while you're sharing, you're going to see this control panel in the top. So if you wanted to stop sharing, you would have to click up there where it says stop share. Now here where it says more, we got a couple of options here. We have the chat, which we saw earlier, whether or not to share computer sounds. That's an option too. I'm going to go ahead and click on stop sharing. So then my Zoom window pops back up. Now this meeting was set up to automatically record. Okay. Not all the meetings are set up that way. Let me go ahead and end this meeting and click on end meeting for all. And if this was set up for computer recording, you would see a pop-up window saying that the computer recording is being downloaded. Right now, this particular recording is going straight to the cloud. Let's go back to Zoom over here. I'm going to click on my account, and then I'm going to go to recordings. And then you should see all the recordings that you've had. Right here it says Hector Garcia's meeting room. You would just click on that, and then you can play the recording right there, or you can download the files. If you actually click on copy shareable link, you can actually give that link to someone so they can watch the recording, or you can download the files if you're going to edit it using video editing software, or the audio only if the audio only is going to be used maybe to post a podcast or something like that. Okay, so when I clicked on this automatic one that says host a meeting with video on, that's what it does. It automatically records and automatically goes to the cloud. So if I wanted to have a little bit more control over that, I would click on my account, then I would click on meetings, then I would click on schedule meeting, and then I would control what I want. So let me give this a name, and then down here I can choose to use a personal meeting ID or to generate a meeting ID automatically. I can choose to have a password or not if I wanted to. I can choose whether a participant can use video or not. You can still manually enable it while the meeting's going on. You can choose whether you want to force telephone audio, force computer audio, or allow either one. Down here, enable waiting room is the one that doesn't allow the person to jump in the meeting until you accept them the way I did it earlier. And then here's the record automatically on the cloud or on a local computer. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck record automatically on this one. And I'm going to click save. Then I'm going to go ahead and start this meeting. Okay, so this is a pre-scheduled meeting that I set up without the automatic recording. Notice that with this one in particular, I don't see the recording button on the top left. And now I do see a recording button on the bottom where I can click on that, and then I can choose whether I want a desktop or a cloud-based recording. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and click on record on the computer. Now the recording officially starts. Let's say I do my screen share, my conversation, whatever it is. Then I go ahead and X out and leave the meeting. And then you'll notice that this pop-up shows up saying that the file's being converted, the recording file's being converted. And then the window should pop up where the conversion is. There's usually a Zoom recording folder somewhere in your computer. So then I can just double click on the MP4 file. That would open the video file. And then I can see the video that I just recorded. So that's it. Hopefully that was useful, quick tutorial on how to use Zoom and Zoom recordings.